Cthulhu presents Let Go, based on the German audiobook Laszlo's. Chapter 1. His scent is fading. I'm awake. It wasn't sleep, just a slow drowning in silence, a fall without end. No dreams, no pictures, only blackness until the pale strips of morning creep through the window and paint the air in washed-out gold. Dawn. I hate that word. It sounds like something soft, something forgiving. But to me it's betrayal. It comes every day, whether I'm ready or not. It drives away the night, the only time I can lose myself in oblivion, and drags me back into the weight of reality. And every single morning the first thing I feel is the absence of warmth beside me, the absence of breaths tangled with mine, the absence of arms circling me in half-sleep, of lips caught against my neck. For 1 second I still hope it isn't true. But it is. Danny is dead. I lie motionless on my side of the bed. Beside me, his pillow. I roll towards it, press my face into the fabric, inhale deeply. His scent. Or what's left of it. Every day, it weakens. The way time eats away at everything. At him, at us. Each morning, it feels like time robs me of another small piece. I bury my face deeper in the pillow, as if I could anchor him here, as if I could keep him from fading. But it doesn't work. Nothing works. The shrill whistle of the alarm cuts the air. I don't move. 6:30. I said it myself. I promised. Dr. Green says I need a routine, structure to keep me from sinking further. I should get up. But I don't want to. I'm tired, not from lack of sleep, but from the weight of being awake. My arm feels heavy as I reach for the phone. One tap and the sound dies. A message blinks on the screen. Holly. So excited to see you today. Love you. I stare at the words, then at our last conversation. I haven't written her in weeks. At first she sent something every day, then less, then not at all. And now this. I should be happy. I feel nothing. My eyes drift to the wardrobe opposite the bed. The door is half open. My side is full. Danny's almost untouched. His jackets, his shirts, that thick, ugly coat I always hated. I force myself to stand, step over, push the fabric aside, searching for something. I don't even know what. I lean in and breathe. Almost nothing. My stomach knots. Maybe if I packed some of it away, in plastic sealed tight, it would hold the scent. Maybe I could keep that much of him. But I can't. I turn away. The pills are on the nightstand. I take 2 with a sip of water. Stability. Inhale. Exhale. The kitchen. Memories that stay, and those that vanish. The smell of coffee fills the air. Danny used to make it with a reverence that made me laugh. He believed every detail changed the taste. The grind, the water temperature, the angle of his hand. Now it's just a machine. I lean against the counter, light a cigarette. The smoke scrapes my throat. I don't care. My gaze drifts around the room. Every corner is a memory. The heavy wooden table with its mismatched chairs. Danny hunted each one down at flea markets. The old gas stove with gold trim. His pride and joy. He'd bought it because it had character, then never used it. The copper pans he insisted on owning. Unused. So much is unused. I draw in the smoke, close my eyes. It's strange how memories linger while people vanish. The first week after he died was like a film with the sound turned off. People came. People cried. They hugged me, brought soup, sandwiches, tea. They sat at my bedside, smoothed my hair, talked at me as if their words could keep me upright. But they didn't stay. The visits thinned out. Hugs turned into phone calls, calls into text messages. Then nothing at all. People avoid places where death has settled in. They stay just long enough to meet the unwritten standard of decency. They deliver their minimum quota of love. Do the things you're meant to do when someone dies. And then they expect you to function again, to get on with it, work, live. No one wants to be confronted with someone else's grief for months on end. No one wants to be reminded it could happen to them. But I'm not healed. I'm not back to normal. I'm just a hollow shell clinging to scraps of memory. I thought the pain would ease out eventually. It doesn't. It just becomes ordinary. A sound snaps me out of my thoughts. A faint, high-pitched whine, muffled, distant. I turn, listening. It's coming from the living room. I walk to the door and open it. The old tube TV is flickering, the screen awash in static. The interference collapses into a single bright dot before fading to black. I freeze. It was off. I step closer, check the dial. Off. My heart picks up speed. Danny? Nothing. Of course nothing. My breathing is heavier now. I pull the plug and leave the room. The phone rings. Dr. Green. I answer. Yes? Good morning, Mrs. Newsom. Just checking in. How was your night? I close my eyes. I was awake before the alarm. That's normal. Nerves about today, I imagine. I don't want to go. I understand. He pauses. But you're still certain you want to attempt this today? I say nothing. The medication is working, I say finally. Good. One step at a time. I don't want to hear it. I glance towards the living room door. My stomach feels like stone. Tell me, do these pills cause hallucinations? No, unless you're mixing them with something else. Just coffee and nicotine. Then no. I nod, though he can't see me. Our next appointment is the 28th, correct? Yes. I could do 1:30 p.m. Fine. And you know you can reach me anytime if you need to? Yes. Good. I believe in you. He hangs up. I stand there. I should get ready. I should go to work. But what if I just stayed? What if I never got up again? Chapter 2. Voices through the wall. The TV just sits there. As if nothing happened. As if it hadn't rattled me with that silent flicker just moments ago. As if it hadn't spat out images that didn't belong here. As if it hadn't, for a second, been full of something like life, if you could even call that warped static life. I stare at it, expectant, daring it. Nothing. Just the muffled stillness of my living room. But the more I listen, the less still it is. Sounds seep through the walls, distorted, dulled, but loud enough to recognize for what they are. Anger. I tilt my head slightly. It's coming from the apartment next door, A cramped place, maybe half the size of my loft. Fred Rodriguez lives there, my neighbor, a short-tempered bastard with a voice sharp enough to slice through concrete. He's shouting. At who? I already know. His stepdaughter, Brittany. I've seen the girl plenty of times in the hallway. Small, narrow-shouldered, blonde. 9, maybe 10. Usually she passes me with her head down, as if being invisible might make her safer. Fred married her mother. Then the mother died. Now it's just him, smoking too much, drinking too much, talking too loud, and taking it all out on a child. I've never seen him hit her, but I've heard him tear her down often enough. How he tells her she's worth nothing, how he grinds her into the floor until she folds in on herself even more than she already does. And now he's at it again. I can't make out the exact words, but the tone is enough. That piercing, ugly bark that fills a space with fear, even when you're not the one it's aimed at. My muscles tighten. I should mind my own business, ignore it, like everyone else. But I can't. My eyes land on one of Danny's old toys, a length of plastic tubing he used for his version of action painting. It's loaded with rubber balls he'd fire at canvases. I feed 3 into the tube, raise it, take aim, and fire. Thwump, thwump, thwump. 3 hard rubber balls slam into the wall, the thud echoing through the concrete, loud enough for Fred to hear. I listen. The silence that follows is worse than the shouting. And then, quiet. I let out a slow breath. 1 ball must have bounced back. It's lying against the TV. And suddenly, flicker. I flinch. The screen glows again. Static, fractured images. For a split second, I see something. A girl with a green side cut. A face I don't know. Then the picture collapses into white, shrinks to a single point, and is gone. My skin prickles. I point at the TV. Cut that crap, or you're going to the thrift store. Of course it doesn't answer. Of course this is all nonsense. But it doesn't feel like nonsense. I leave the room. My job calls for a certain dress code. Not stiff, not fully formal, but nothing sloppy either. I stand in front of the wardrobe, scanning my options. A skirt? Too big. I've lost weight. I hate shopping, but at some point I'll have to. So instead, slim-cut black summer trousers that now hang a little loose, a plain black t-shirt with a small collar, a light cardigan, and a business jacket, just in case. On my feet, Doc Martens, polished to a mirror shine, with platform soles. Danny would have loved that. I grab my handbag and check the contents. Laptop, power bank, USB sticks, an old phone card in case I lose my mobile, a habit I've never shaken. Keys, cigarettes, mints, a bottle of juice, with a shot of vodka. Just in case. My stomach growls. Food? Nothing in the house. Fine. I'll find something on the way. I glance back at the living room. The TV stays dark. I close the door behind me. I can't bring myself to lock the studio. So I leave it open. The heavy steel door to my loft swings wide, and I see him immediately. Jake Parker. My neighbor across the hall. Widower. A man who shares my fate. He knows how I feel. He pokes his head out, spots me. His eyes light, just a little. Good morning, Mrs. Newsom. "Good morning, Mr. Parker." He hesitates, then, "Hold on a moment." I watch him vanish briefly, his door left half open. The smell of warm bread drifts out. Something familiar. He returns, holding out a small bundle wrapped in newspaper. "Here. Sandwiches. I thought you might want something to eat." I take it with both hands. Something inside me cracks. "Thank you," I whisper. And then, something I haven't done in a long time. I pull him into a quick hug. It's not much, but he's the only one who's truly stayed. A noise tears the moment apart. A door slams open. Fred Rodriguez. Brittany stands in front of him. I see it immediately. His hand is locked around her upper arm. Her face is twisted in pain. "Let go of her," I say at once. Fred looks up at me. "What's your problem? Mind your own damn business." "This is my business." He snorts, shoves Brittany ahead of him. "You pull crap like that again, and God help you." The door slams shut. Brittany stays. Her small school backpack hangs from one shoulder. She just stands there, lost. "Brittany," I say softly. "Let me see." "It's nothing." "Let me." Reluctantly, she holds out her arm. A bright red mark blooms on her skin. I breathe in deep. "Hold still." I bend down, kiss the spot, and blow gently on it. She giggles. "Doesn't hurt anymore," she says. She looks right at me, so directly it almost hurts. "Want a lollipop?" I ask. She shakes her head. "Fred says sugar makes kids wild." "Fred's an idiot." She grins and slips the lollipop into her backpack anyway. I see more. Bruises on her legs. A dark shadow under her hairline. I take a photo. Chapter 3. In the belly of the city. Cars hiss along the streets. Voices melt into an endless backdrop. A constant hum. People move in and out of my vision, locked in their own worlds, their plans, their routines. I stand still in the middle of it. The coffee in my hands is steaming. Jimmy handed it to me, so sweet it's almost syrup, but I don't care. The bamboo cup feels faintly rough under my fingertips. The smell pulls me back to Danny, to those mornings when he'd hold out a mug with a smile, as if life was a party that had to be celebrated every single day. I take a sip. It's good. But nothing is really good anymore. My eyes settle on the subway stairs. I wait until the flood of commuters thins, until only a few stragglers remain. Then I step forward. A descent into the underworld? The steps are worn smooth, flanked by graffiti, and layers of old posters pasted over each other like forgotten memories. The air smells cold and damp, like metal and grime, like time that's gone stale. I keep going. The city noise fades. Somewhere a saxophone plays. Beside it, someone drums on overturned plastic buckets. No one seems to notice. People keep moving, pulling their coats tighter, as if that might protect them from something. And then I see him. He's sitting in a recess cut deep into the wall, swallowed by shadow. A sleeping bag lies half spread beside him, his jacket hanging loose on narrow shoulders. His face is hollow. Cheekbones jut out like fragile bridges over empty space. His movements are slow, mechanical. I see him shift his jacket slightly. A bare arm emerges. And then I see the reason. The tube, the syringe, the thumb pushing the plunger down, slow and deliberate. It takes only seconds. His head tilts back, his chin sinks to his chest, his eyes are glassy, almost surprised. He looks at me, directly. His lips move, as if trying to form words. One finger lifts faintly, points at me, or behind me. Then his arm drops, limp, and he's gone. What do you do when you watch someone die? I don't know. My heart is pounding. I want to scream, but my voice is trapped in my throat. I see his chest rising, barely, then falling, a tremor in his fingers, and then nothing. I can't let this happen. I drop to my knees, call for help, search for his pulse. Hey, stay with me. Don't go. His eyelids flutter, just a flicker of awareness, and then nothing again. Don't you go, goddammit! I pull his jacket open wider, grab my coffee, splash a little across his face. He jerks, but only for a moment. Somebody call a goddamn ambulance. I hear voices around me, but no one is helping. They're just standing there, watching. Some of them are filming. But no one moves. The saxophone goes silent. The drummer stops. And finally, someone breaks away, running to find security. I start compressions. His chest is so thin, I'm afraid I'll break it. I count in my head. Staying alive, staying alive. But he doesn't stay alive. And then suddenly, someone appears beside me. A boy. Not just any boy. He's perfect, almost too perfect. Blonde hair, flawless. His clothes are expensive, obscenely expensive. An outfit worth more than some cars. But his fingernails. Long black half-moons curl from his perfect hands. He kneels beside the dying man, strokes greasy hair back from his forehead with a tenderness that makes my skin crawl. What the hell? I stare at him, and then he smiles. It's not a normal smile. It's wrong. His teeth are black and yellow, mottled, rotten. My stomach turns over. I shove him away. But he doesn't leave. He only slips aside. Fluid, almost dancing. His body bends like a marionette, moving with an elegance no one asked for. Then he stands, turns, and walks away. Not hurried, not startled. He just goes. And no one seems to have seen him. I turn back to the man. But there's nothing left to do. He's gone. Security arrives. They pull the body away from me, speaking into radios. I sit there, breathing hard. My body feels like it's dissolving from the inside out. People ask if I'm okay. Am I? I give my details. I hear my own name, but it doesn't sound like mine anymore. And then the saxophone starts again. A melody. A melody that hits me like a punch. I know it. Danny. Danny loved it. Danny played it the day he painted his last picture. Everything comes apart. I hear the music. I see Danny's hands on the canvas. I see his smile. I see black. Only black. Chapter 4. Rain on the Street. I fall into darkness, not complete darkness. Somewhere light flickers. Voices reach me muffled and warped, as if through thick walls. My limbs are heavy. I can't move. In this strange twilight, I catch the shapes of people leaning over me, calling something out. Their faces are blurred, flashes of blue light. a low, heavy thrum, then darkness again. Suddenly something soft is under my head, but not like a pillow. Something warm, alive, an arm. I feel it around my waist, a hand resting on my stomach, and then close to my ear, slow, warm breathing, familiar. Danny. I hear his voice, deep, a little sleepy. Want breakfast, sleepyhead? My heart skips a beat. He kisses the back of my neck, gentle, while I try to think. This can't be real, but it feels real. He carefully slides his arm out from under my head. His hand lingers on my shoulder, then glides down my back, fingertips brushing my arm until they touch my hand. I'll make us breakfast, he murmurs. The blanket lifts for a second, a cool draft over my legs. I turn, trying to hold on to him, but there's only emptiness. Let go. His voice echoes inside my head. Part of me wants to stay here, to cling to what I've lost. But suddenly, another melody swells through the dream, rolling over me like a rising tide, and I wake. I'm lying on cold tile, but my head rests on something soft, an arm, like in the dream. But this time, it isn't Danny's. When my vision clears, I see two concerned faces above me, the saxophonist and the drummer who tried to steady me earlier. A crowd has gathered around us. Dozens of phones point at me, filming, taking photos. I'm fine, I lie. My head is heavy, my heart pounding. They help me to my feet. My knees shake. Some onlookers snicker, holding their phones steady. A thick woman with neon orange lipstick whispers to another that she needs to get it all on video. My throat tightens. Piss off, I snap, but they only laugh. As the crowd starts to drift, a face catches my eye, lingering at the edge. Large blue eyes, feline features, definitely female. A side cut, the rest of her hair woven into green dreads. A leather jacket over a ripped tank top, a red tartan skirt, heavy boots, rings, bangles, piercings. Loud, but somehow warm. Her eyes are full of compassion, full of grief. I try to step toward her, but a wave of bodies moves between us, and when I look again, she's gone. The musicians offer to walk me out, but I wave them off. I barely have time to collect myself before another scene catches me. An elderly woman sits on a bench among the gray tide of commuters. She looks lost, as if she's forgotten where she is and why. Her skirt is old-fashioned, her legs thin and trembling. When she tries to stand, someone jostles her in passing. And then, the punk girl reappears. She moves through the crowd almost silently, as if people unconsciously make way for her. She slips an arm around the old woman's shoulders, tilts her chin up, strokes her face. Then she kisses the woman's forehead and lowers her gently to the ground. It's like a strange dance, so soft, so full of care. Her gaze radiates warmth, pity, love. And in that moment, the old woman dies. Her eyes close, her body goes slack. Phones appear again. Some people gawk. Others mutter something about another scene. Only one young man pushes through, swatting at the greedy lenses. Anyone have something to cover her, he pants. He drapes his jacket over the dead woman's face, trying to give her some dignity. I step closer, kneel. My head throbs, but I want to help. She has no bag, Nothing but a crumpled note in the pocket of her wool coat. Margaret. And an address. 7th Spirits Retirement Home. A message to return her there if she wandered off. "I'm so sorry," I murmur. The young man looks at me, grateful I found it. His eyes shine with a mix of sadness and shock. "I'm in med school," he says quietly. "But I've never seen someone go like that. So peaceful, and yet so strange." "Didn't you see the woman with her?" I ask. "Green hair, leather jacket, hard to miss." He shakes his head. "No, there was no one. She was just sitting there, and then she was gone." Weary, I cross to a public payphone and call the retirement home. The woman who answers sounds flustered, annoyed, as if she has more important things to do. She confirms Margaret lived there, that she'd wandered off before. "She's gone," I say carefully. A short pause. Then, "Yes, very sad. We'll handle the rest. Thank you for calling." Just before she hangs up, I hear her murmur to someone. "Room in House 8's open now. Go ahead and strip the bed." I hang up and stand motionless. My stomach twists. 2 people have died in front of me this morning. 2 in minutes, one pumped full of drugs, the other a confused old woman escaping herself. And between them, her, that strange punk girl, so much like yet completely unlike the perfect boy with the black-yellow teeth. What's happening here? I'm dizzy. My head aches. I can still feel Danny's kiss on my skin, his arm around my neck. Part of me wants to go back to that dream, that fleeting illusion of safety. But reality has me now. The digital board above the platform blinks. The next train icon appears. People push, jostle, stare into their phones. Somewhere the saxophonist and drummer start a new melody. And then, just for a heartbeat, the board flickers. I see it. Let go. Then it's gone. Everything looks normal again. I swallow hard, rub a hand over my face. Work, I tell myself. I was going to get back to my routine. A routine that once seemed harmless, before I knew what death really feels like. Now I'm awake, and the world is an unpredictable place. Chapter 5. The berry-colored hat. I'm standing in the churn of a crowd as the subway train screeches to a stop. People shove past me, jostling me like I'm nothing more than an obstacle. The old woman is still on the ground. Security and transit staff are trying to carve out some space around her. Someone wheels in a stretcher. The train doors hiss open, spilling out passengers who collide with those trying to get in. It's a tide surging in both directions. Inside I feel numb. So many endings in one morning. Too many in just a few hours. I glance to the side, trying to look away from the body, and that's when I see him. Through one of the windows, the boy with the perfect hair and the hideously black teeth. He's looking straight at me. His smile slices the air, cold and vile. My pulse kicks hard. Is he really there? Or is my mind breaking again? For a moment, the train holds still, and we lock eyes. Then he starts moving through the carriage, turning his head again and again, as if to make sure I keep watching. And then, chaos. The press of bodies shoves me forward, into the train. I try to hold back, but there's no escape. In seconds, I'm wedged between sweating bodies and backpacks, my face pressed against a window. Outside, I catch one last glimpse of the scene. Security still working around the dead woman, a medic preparing the stretcher. Someone removes her hat, lowering their gaze. Then the doors close. The train jerks forward. The lights inside are harsh, almost blinding. Advert screens loop the same meaningless pitches. And then they flicker. At first barely noticeable, then harder, as if someone's twisting a brightness dial up and down. A droning hum pulses in my ears, deepening. The wall screens smear into distorted colors, jagged stripes, then static, like an old tube TV. I see something. First, black and white fragments, then a warped face, the punk girl with the green side cut, just long enough to barely make out her features. Then, the boy's sneer, filling the whole screen, only those thin lips and pitch-black teeth. I want to look away, but I can't move. The crush of the crowd has me pinned. The screens flicker again. They show images that don't belong here. An old woman in a pale pink dress, sitting at a different station. Unfamiliar faces, warped voices. My head swims. In the chaos, the glare, the strobing colors, I feel a warm hand on my back. It's nothing like the rough press of strangers. It's deliberate. I try to turn, but I can't. The crowd holds me like a living vice. Then a chin rests on my shoulder. Short, bristling stubble scratches my neck. Her breath touches my ear. Danny's scent. I know it instantly. Fresh paint. A trace of citrus soap. Impossible, but there it is. Something tightens in my chest. A wave of longing, of impossible hope. The train vanishes. The flicker stops. The lights die. Blackness swallows everything, as if the power has been cut completely. I can feel only the hand on my stomach, the breath against my neck, and a low, distant hum. I blink, and I'm somewhere else. At the nape of my neck, a faint static hiss, like a TV with no signal. I'm in my bed, my bedroom. It's dark, the only light a bluish shimmer spilling through the cracked door, probably from the TV in the living room. I sit up, my heartbeat lodged in my throat. Was I dreaming? I hear soft snoring, like Danny dozing on the couch. I get up, step to the bedroom door. The bathroom light is on. I hear a slow drip. Did he forget to turn the tap off? Everything feels wrong, as if I'm underwater, as if the air is too heavy. I follow the flickering blue into the living room. Danny is in his old armchair, Atari controller in hand. The TV stutters, shadows twitching across the wall. His head is tipped back, mouth slack in a light snore. I try to speak to him. Something inside me is screaming. He can't be here. He's dead. But the shock of seeing him so real locks my thoughts. I want to go to him, shake him awake, hold him. But my hands hit something unseen. A barrier, thick, glassy, unyielding. I slam my fist against it, call his name, but he doesn't react. Slowly, Danny lifts his head, blinks, then sees me. His eyes widen, lips shaping my name, but I hear nothing. He taps his ear, signaling he can't hear me, beckons with one hand. Come closer. I can't. The fear in his eyes mirrors mine. He gets up, switches off the TV. Darkness closes in, only the bathroom light sketching faint reflections over his outline. He steps toward me, but just before he can reach me, his face shifts. The features dissolve. In their place, the cold, foul smile, those black teeth. That grin fixes on me, and cold spreads through my body. "Get out!" I shout, but no sound comes. He pushes through the barrier, as if it never existed for him. His shoulder brushes mine. Ice floods my spine. I try to follow, to grab something. My hand closes on a heavy vase Danny once bought, but my legs are led, my body moving as if through syrup. He slips toward the bedroom. I stumble after him, panic burning. Inside, I see myself curled up in bed, and beside me, Danny, peaceful. The shadow crawls onto the bed, drops to all fours, turns its head toward me, and grins. I want to scream, run, strike, but everything is muffled, voiceless. My body won't obey. And then, the floor collapses. I fall, land on cold, damp stone. Moss presses against my hips. Trees rise around me, washed in ghostly moonlight. Behind me, a gravestone. Danny's name carved deep. My stomach knots. I turn and drop further. Now I'm in a pit, an open grave. Above me, my family, my father, my mother, my sister, Emerald, all holding shovels. Why? I try to protest, but earth begins to patter down over me. Someone is crying. Someone whispers my name. Light fades, weakens. Suddenly, I'm on a TV screen. I am the broadcast, and Danny is kneeling in front of it, pressing a finger to the glass. "Jules, what's going on?" His voice trembles, as if he can really see me. Click. Darkness. Blinding light. Dizzy. I'm back in the subway, wedged between suits, hipsters, students. The neon flicker of the ad panels is gone. Everything looks normal. Except my heart is racing. My hand is locked around my phone. The time? 10 o'clock? How? It feels like I boarded hours ago. With shaking fingers, I call Holly. "Hey, Jules." Her voice familiar. "Where are you? You okay?" I hear my own breath, ragged, like I've run miles. 2 people died near me this morning. Just dead. I tried to help, but oh my God. She sounds honestly shaken. "Are you hurt? Want me to come?" I can barely speak. I just stare at the platform as the train slides in and pushes me out at the next station. I realize I'm downtown, near work. "I'm by the memorial fountain," I say, breathless. "Please, just come." "I'm on my way. Told Matt you had something urgent. Wait there, okay?" She hangs up. I step out, washed into the current of platforms and stairs. The concourse is crowded, but everything looks interchangeable. The same kiosks, the same smells, the same tired-eyed security. The escalator carries me upward. Inside my head, chaos. Dead strangers, horrible visions. Danny's voice, and again, the boy, the girl, both altered, both present, both untouchable. Finally, I emerge into daylight. Morning has burned into a sharp, unforgiving late-morning glare. Towers slice the sky. The downtown memorial spreads before me, a wide fountain at the heart of a busy square. Chapter 6 as for Turn Up. I spot Holly from a distance, cola bottle in one hand, a small paper bag in the other. I know the logo instantly. The deli around the corner, the place where we've always grabbed the best baguettes. Even with my nerves raw, the sight sparks a flicker of relief. Food and Holly, 2 constants I can count on when everything else is coming apart. She takes 2 quick steps, waves at me. I start toward her and hear it. "Hey, bitch, move it!" A skateboarder comes in fast from the side. Holly shifts to step aside, but he slams into her. "Holly!" I shout. She goes down hard, sliding across the pavement. The cola bottle bursts against the ground, spraying dark liquid. The paper bag tumbles somewhere between us. People stream past as if nothing happened. Some glance briefly. A few even mutter complaints about her being in the way. I shove through the flow and drop to my knees beside her. Adrenaline hammers in my temples. 2 gawkers toss out snide remarks. A man in a business suit murmurs something about her own fault for standing there. And for an instant, his face flickers into that grin, the one that's already twisted my gut more than once. Before I can react, he strolls away, vanishing into the crowd. Holly looks a mess, her knees scraped raw, her elbow bleeding. She eases herself onto her backside, pulling her legs in. "What's wrong with this city?" she mutters, rocking slightly. "Why is so much crap happening today?" I pull tissues from my bag, dip them in the fountain's water, and dab at her cuts. The fountain is at the center of the square. People pass us without even glancing over. Most are locked in their own worlds. "I wasn't quick enough," I say quietly. Holly shrugs, then winces. "It wasn't about quickness. The guy was just an asshole." I help her to her feet, slow and careful. She tests her arm and leg. "Nothing broken," she declares, though she's trembling. My hand stays on her shoulder to steady her. "Come on, I'll take you to a doctor," I say. "We can decide what to do after that. Work's probably shot for today anyway." She nods. "Yeah, better. Besides, look at me." She gestures at her torn work outfit. I can't show up like this. And my elbow. Oh, hell. I try to smooth her hair, and she leans over the fountain to check her reflection. I lean in too, and freeze. In the water's surface, Holly's reflection shifts. The punk girl stares back at me. Green hair, side cut, leather jacket. But beside me stands Holly in her business suit. Still, in the water, the other woman meets my gaze, smiles, and her hand, Holly's hand, reaches toward mine in the reflection. "I'll be so gentle." The whisper is so soft it's almost drowned by the splash of the fountain. I flinch back, blink, and it's just Holly again, brushing a stray strand from her face. "What?" she asks. "You look like you've seen a ghost." Nothing. Forget it. Sit down. Catch your breath. I'll find us a... Jules, we need a doctor first. I can't go to the office like this. Okay, let's call Matt. Let him know. I sigh, pull out my phone. My fingers are trembling as I dial. When he answers, I spill everything in a rush. 2 deaths this morning. The chaos, the skateboard crash, my fear. Matt's voice is impatient, edged with disbelief. He asks if I've taken the wrong pills, insists I come in anyway. Then he hangs up mid-sentence. I'm left gripping the phone, tears stinging. "He's a jerk," Holly says softly. "Hey, you don't have to work there. You're too good to be treated like that." You're right. I draw in a long breath. First, let's get you patched up, and maybe something else to wear. We pass a store that barely resembles what it once was. It used to have sharp, elegant fashion. Now it's packed with absurd designer pieces, loud, unwearable, and overpriced. Holly just needs an intact pair of tights and maybe a jacket. Inside, music pounds from hidden speakers. A man with a man bun, looking equal parts model, DJ, and designer, glances over us with pure disinterest. A few random clothes lie scattered across display tables. The price is insane. Holly tries on some tights, browses for a jacket. Everything is hideous. At the register, the guy rattles off a number that makes me bark out a laugh. Over $1,300 for a few threadbare items. "You're kidding," I manage. Holly plunks her ripped, blood-stained tights onto the counter, like a return. "Keep your junk, sweetheart," she says coolly, pulls on my cardigan, and marches to the door. I follow, pausing just long enough to snap a photo of a ridiculous carrot-shaped pair of pants and the man behind them. But on my phone, he's nothing but a white silhouette, no real face at all. My phone's glitching, or I am. The glass door clicks shut behind us, and the noise of the city swallows us again. Through the window, the man-bun guy glares, but Holly and I exchange a glance and break into laughter. Bitter, nervous laughter, but laughter all the same. Next door, we spot another shop. "Turn Up" is painted over the door in graffiti letters. Inside, classical music plays. A strange, almost mocking contrast. Holly snorts at it. "Maybe they'll have a pair of pants I can actually wear," she says. "It's neater here. Stylish urban basics." Holly grabs a few pieces and disappears into the fitting room. I hunt for another size. When I return, she holds out her hand. "Gimme." I pass her the pants and top, then glance at the mirror behind her. And my stomach locks. A hand with long, filthy black nails hovers in the reflection, just above her arm, as if about to rest there. Instinct takes over. I swipe at it. The world explodes into white. A searing brightness blinds me. My ears roar. It feels like the color has been sucked out of everything. The clothes, the fitting rooms, even the floor, until all that remains are sketchy pencil lines. And then nothing. I stand in a white void. There's nothing left but me, and that single touch. Fingers rest warm against the back of my hand. My pulse hammers in my skull. My breathing comes shallow. "Holly?" I whisper. My voice echoes in this endless white expanse. No racks, no counter, just boundless, suffocating white, like a vacuum. I can hear each heartbeat pounding in my head. The silence hurts. And that damn hand. Chapter 7. White. I stand in blinding white. Around me, the sounds of an accident scene throb. Engines, hydraulic cutters, the pulse of blue strobes somewhere beyond the milky shapes. Everything is hazy, and yet so crushingly real that it steals my breath. A man in overalls, probably a firefighter, kneels over a body. The cold hits my stomach when I see who it is. Me. Or what's left of me in this vision. Blood pools on the ground, soaking silently into the white nothing. Beyond an overturned wreck, I see another body. Danny. A jagged steel pipe has punched through the windshield and into his heart. My breath comes shallow. My fingers knot into my shirt. My whole body aches just looking at him. I didn't mean to. A man's voice whines on a loop. coming from somewhere, everywhere. Right, left, above, below. I can't place it. The air is thick with despair. I step toward the broken version of myself. Another paramedic crouches beside me, her hands pressing, trying to keep me alive. My head is tipped back, eyes half shut. I can almost hear my own voice rasping somewhere far away. Then the firefighter straightens. He looks at me. Not the broken body on the ground, but me. "Jules, you have to let go." The words slam into me like a hammer to the chest. I want to scream that I can't, that I won't, that I can't lose Danny again. But my lips open soundlessly. No air, no voice. A movement brushes behind me, a shadow sliding past. I turn. The boy. Perfect hair, hideous black teeth. His grin is triumphant, feeding on the chaos. And then, from the other side, she appears. The punk girl with the green side cut. Her eyes warm, full of pity. She catches his outstretched finger before it touches me. "Not her," she hisses. "Not her, brother. That's not fair." He sneers, almost a predator snarl, and locks eyes with her. "There are rules, sister. You know that. You'll anger him." I don't understand. Him? Who? What rules? Her voice is muffled but gentle. "I can't watch you take her. I am gentle. Not her. Please, not her." Her hand brushes my shoulder. Warm, steadying. She looks straight at me. "I'm so sorry. This shouldn't have happened." Then her fingertip touches my forehead. A wave of dizziness rolls through me, the whole scene spinning down into a whirlpool. The white pulses, brighter, then darker, until it swallows every trace of color. Now I'm somewhere else. Asphalt gleams in black and gray, jumbled, as if the world has tilted 90 degrees. I'm lying on my side, dampness under me, cold. Muted voices at the edge of my awareness. Heavy boots kneel close. A hand touches me lightly. In my back, I feel Danny. So close it's as if he's lying right behind me. I turn my head and there he is, the stubble on his jaw, the warmth of his breath, his voice in my ear. "Let go." We lie together in the street, close. Then, impact, into nothing. I'm in bed, our loft. Danny beside me, warm, alive, curling into the back of my neck. "Hey, sleepyhead, breakfast?" I never want to let him go. He rises, his fingertip brushing my shoulder as he does. I clutch the blanket, staring into the morning half-light. The loft looks unfinished. Bare walls, no furniture, raw brick, and yet everywhere flicker and dart echoes of our life together. In one corner, us, laughing in a kiss. Farther back, him in the bathroom, razor in hand, pulling faces. Across the room, the Atari console, his mock frustration as he throws the controller down. In the kitchen, his smile. "Hey, babe, breakfast's ready." I follow the call to a long table, our table. On it, a sing cookie, a glass of orange juice, a steaming cup of coffee. Danny slips past me, takes something from his pocket, and tucks it under the plate. "I'm in the studio, Jules," he murmurs. "Look when you're ready." He disappears through a doorway that flickers and seems to lead nowhere. Heart pounding, I lift the plate. A note. I know the scrawl, his sketch handwriting, used for quick ideas and rough notes. "Let go, and you'll find me." Tears sting. I don't know what it means. And yet, Deep inside, I feel as if I do. That this is the key. The loft wavers. The echoes dissolve. And then all is white again, as if I'm being pulled back through a thin membrane into the waking world. Chapter 8, Dr. Green. I'm back in the boutique. Just like that, as if the walk outside, the blinding white, the strange emptiness had never happened. The biting scent of new clothes and pseudo-perfume hits me, along with the mild air from the AC. Holly looks at me as if nothing unusual has happened. You were gone a while, she says, studying my face. Did you put on more makeup? I glance around, trying to orient myself, my heart hammering in my throat. Wasn't I just out there, in that searing nothing, in those nightmare visions? Yeah, I stammer. I just needed to freshen up. Well, at least you look a little better, she says, looping her arm through mine. And you're not gonna believe what happened while you were gone. She holds up a bag, her old battered clothes now gone. That cute guy from earlier actually worked up the nerve to talk to me. Took him forever to blush and stammer out a request for my number. I gave it to him. I can't help a thin smile. That's nice. Yeah, it was sweet. Different from the usual macho jerk strutting around. Before I can reply, she's already pushing open the glass door. The city noise swallows us instantly. Horns, engines, the tangle of human voices. I feel a wave of dizziness, but take a deep breath and follow her out. You never judged me, I say quietly once we're on the sidewalk. Never told me to move on. I thank you for that. She drapes an arm over my shoulders. I can't even imagine what you're going through. I'm no expert at managing feelings, but hey, we'll get through this together. You've filled out a bit, I say, almost absently. I mean, your chest, your ass, you're rounder. Her eyes widen. Are you calling me fat? She laughs. But yeah, my clothes are getting pretty tight lately. Are you still seeing Matt? I ask carefully. She freezes, eyes wide. Shit. Please, no. I meet her gaze. Get a test. That guy's an asshole. I drift for a moment, lost in thought. Jules? Holly says. What is it? I snap back. I wouldn't know what to do if I were pregnant with Danny's child. She hugs me tight. Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. A lump rises in my throat. I just nod. She points across the street at a drugstore. Come on. I need to get a test. She hurries ahead. My head swarms with images. Danny's face, the boy with black teeth, his green-haired sister, Dr. Green's voice on the phone. Inside, the fluorescent light is sharp and oppressive. Holly's at the counter chatting with the elderly pharmacist. And in my mind, a single phrase keeps pounding, over and over. Let go, and you'll find me. Danny, the firefighter from the vision, whoever it is, it echoes through me like a pulse. Holly returns with a plain paper bag. Okay, got it. 5 different tests. Go big or go home. I nod, and we step outside. On the sidewalk, I feel a tug at the back of my neck, like I'm being watched. But all I see are regular passers-by. No pale face, no mocking grin. Where now? Coffee? Holly asks. Part of me wants to go home, to my loft, to my memories of Danny. But another part knows I shouldn't be alone right now. Let's go to Café Marron, I suggest. Could use some sugar. Minutes later, we're seated among Holly's banker assholes and the city's hip media crowd. The smell of coffee and chocolate teases my senses. So, Holly says, looks like I've put on weight. My bra's tight. She grins and taps the bag. I'll test later, okay? I nod. Sure. An older waitress with a kindly, worn face takes our order. Latte macchiato with caramel, and a brownie for me, Americano for Holly, plus petit fours and macarons. Pure sugar heaven. While we wait, we trade fragments about our day. Boutiques, odd moments, though I keep the worst to myself. Then my phone rings. Dr. Green. I press it to my ear. Good afternoon, Mrs. Newsom. Just checking in. How are you feeling today? I try to summarize the last few hours, tripping over my words. The junkie, the old woman, the skateboard crash, how it was too much, how I couldn't make it to work. He sounds sympathetic at first, then something clatters on his end. A groan, a sharp intake of breath. Dr. Green! Mrs. Newsom, he gasps. Need a doctor. My heart. There's fumbling, rustling. Another voice, but not his. Who are you? Green wheezes. My pulse spikes. What do you see? A girl with green hair or a boy with black teeth? A girl. His voice is barely a whisper. Jules. Who is she? Please be gentle, I whisper back. Then softly. That's me, Jules. The line goes dead. I stare at the phone, frozen. A shiver crawls down my spine. It buzzes again. Holly sent me a WhatsApp. A photo, her hand fanning out 5 pregnancy tests. Every one positive. Caption, shit. When she returns from the restroom, I tell her to stay away from me. She just looks at me, bewildered, watching as I walk out of the cafe. Chapter 9, Chuck. Outside, the city roars like a restless sea of noise and motion. Horns blare. People rush past. Somewhere the high, grating scream of a jackhammer drills through the air. I stand still for a moment on the sidewalk, still reeling from my last conversation with Holly. The shock is bone deep. She's really pregnant. 5 tests said so. And I told her to stay away from me, so she wouldn't be dragged under, too. What if I really do pull everyone into the abyss? What if there's something dark trailing me, feeding on those around me? Too many people close to me have died in the past hours. I need to go home. Home, where Danny's memories are. Home, where maybe I can shut this chaos out. A heavy dump truck sits near the cafe, unloading sand at a construction site. As I pass, I notice the name tag in the windshield. Chuck. The driver looks up from his work, sees me. His face shifts from the bland focus of routine to something like disgust. Get the hell out of here, punk! He shouts through the rolled-down window. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. I know that face. The driver. That night. I saw him. I step to the window. I forgive you, I say. What? What do you want from me? Get off the site, he barks. I think I'm dead. None of this makes sense, except if I am. That's the only way it makes sense. He stares back at me, holding my gaze. What's wrong with you, girl? You high? You need help? I glance in the side mirror and catch my reflection. A feline face with wide, warm blue eyes. One side of my head shaved, the other spilling with tangled green dreads. Listen to me, Chuck. I plead now. I know you didn't mean it. I don't know when it happened. I barely remember anything. But there was an accident. A man and a woman. He had a metal pipe through his chest. She was on the ground. It wasn't your fault. His features collapse. His eyes flood instantly. What? The hell? His voice trembles. Is this some sick joke? He wipes at his tears. I place my hand on his forearm. I'm Jules Newsom. I don't know what's happening here. I think I died out there on the street. I swallow hard. Danny, my husband, he's been talking to me. And this world, it's coming apart. I don't know how. Chuck just looks at me, and in his eyes I see the flicker of expressions. Skepticism, anger, recognition, regret. I didn't mean to. He whispers, Do you hear me? I didn't mean it. I was only distracted for a second. Just a second. My life is eating me alive. My bills are eating me alive. My son is sick, dying. I can't pay for the treatment. He sobs hard, choking on his own breath, then grips my hand. How can this be? I don't know. I pull out my phone. Chuck, this may not be real, but people keep dying around me. That makes it real enough. I open my banking app. I have money. I don't think I'm going to need it. If things work here the way I think they do, this should work. Give me your account number, Chuck. He stares at me, hesitating. I want you to pay for your son's treatment. I pause, whispering. A life for a life. Slowly, he pulls out his phone. I scan his QR code. I transfer everything I have. His eyes widen. He stares at me, stunned. Why would you do this? He asks quietly. Because it wasn't your fault, Chuck. I'm going to Danny now. I stand on tiptoe and kiss his tear-streaked cheek. He wraps his arms around me, face pressed against my leather jacket. He shudders beneath the waves running through him, weeping. I'm sorry, he chokes out. I forgive you, Chuck. Danny forgives you. I pull free and run. Just run. A sharp crack stops me cold. A cable somewhere snaps, and a massive piece of equipment crashes to the ground. Screams rip through the street. And in the middle of the commotion, kneeling beside the freshly killed victim, I see him, the boy with the black teeth, grinning wide, triumphant, like he's drinking in the chaos. I lunge toward him. My hands grasp only air. Why are you doing this? I scream. Because I can. His voice echoes in my head. Disgust washes over me, icy and crawling. I see Chuck in the truck, staring at the accident, staring at me. Run, Chuck, I shout. Then I shove backward through the gawkers, pushing my way out of the crowd, not daring a single glance behind me. Chapter 10, West End. I push my way through the city's crush, past gawkers and people with no faces. Everything blurs. The buildings are silhouettes now, their hearts gone dark. It feels like the soul of this city is burned out. Finally, I find a bus terminal. On one of the buses, bright scrolling letters read, West End. It's at least in the direction of my industrial loft. I'm not sure it'll take me right there, but it's better than staying here. As I approach, the aftermath of the latest accident still churns in the air. At the stop, the West End bus idles, hardly anyone boarding. The driver, a broad-shouldered black man with a neat moustache and kind eyes, waits in vain for passengers. He frowns at me, like I'm the first person he's seen in hours. "Hop in, lady," he calls, "or I'll be sitting here all day by myself." I don't hesitate, slipping inside and collapsing into the seat right behind him. "Thanks," I murmur as he closes the door. He smiles, shrugging. "No problem. Who else is going anywhere today? Everyone's busy staring at that accident. Bad one." I nod, unable to say more. He throws me a quick, searching glance. "You buying a ticket?" "Oh, yeah, of course." I fumble through my pockets, finding a few coins. Not quite enough. I mumble an apology. "Don't worry about it," he says generously. "Crazy day anyway. I'll take you." I'm grateful. "Thank you." As the bus pulls away, I stare out at a city that feels like a stage set. Hardly any passengers get on, and those who do seem strangely absent, unfocused. At the second stop, an elderly lady climbs aboard. Floral dress, berry-colored hat with a flower. Like she's stepped out of another era. She gives me a brief, gentle smile as she passes, taking a seat behind the driver. At the third, a tall, gaunt man with a halo of thinning hairboards, a cello case strapped to his back. He sits almost wordlessly, resting the case gently on the empty seat beside him. He too feels misplaced, like someone who's wandered here by mistake. The driver keeps shaking his head. Hardly anyone getting on. Weird day. He glances at me in the mirror, smiling faintly. "Some big event I didn't hear about? Why's the city empty out there, but no one riding the bus?" I shrug. How do I tell him? That I see faceless shapes where people should be, that colors are draining away, that somewhere a boy with rotting teeth is spreading death and chaos. He wouldn't believe me. The bus rolls on. The monotony of its motion is almost soothing, and for the first time in hours, I feel the faintest sense of safety. Maybe, I think, maybe I really will make it home now. But a few stops later, something changes. Outside, beyond the windows, the world begins to shift again. At first, I think the sky's just darkened. Maybe a cloud. Then I see it. Buildings on the horizon drawn in pencil lines. "Oh God, not again," I murmur, pressing my hand to my damp forehead. "You okay back there?" the driver calls over his shoulder. Before I can answer, the old woman in the berry-colored hat turns to me and smiles softly. "I think it's nearly time, dear." My eyes widen. What? Her smile is cryptic, as if she knows exactly what's unraveling inside me. A low chuckle escapes her, not threatening, but ancient, like she carries every secret in the world. Then she turns forward again, gazing out the window as if nothing happened. Through the side glass, I watch part of the street bleaching to a glaring white, as if someone is erasing the texture of reality with a rubber. People and cars shimmer, then blink out. "We got a jam up ahead," the driver says suddenly. "Traffic slowing." He eases to a stop at an intersection. Through the front glass, I see 2 or 3 cars inching forward, Behind us, someone honks for no reason at all. How far to the West End? My voice sounds brittle, foreign. He taps his display. 4 more stops normally. But at this rate, I want out, want to run, no matter how far. But that white tide outside is spreading. No, please, just keep going. He frowns. Everything okay, lady? Please, drive, I whisper as fast as you can. He nods once, wordless, taps the wheel. Well, we'll do our best. Our eyes meet in the mirror. His are full of worry, or pity. It stings, but I'm too drained to explain. I just want to get home. The engine hums, the bus slipping back into motion. The white nothing keeps its distance, for now. I breathe out shakily and close my eyes. Let go, and you'll find me. Danny's voice, or the voice from the vision. It feels like a key I don't know how to use. With every mile we cover, my dread grows for what will be waiting at the loft. And yet, there's a grim resolve too. What more can happen now? I squeeze my eyes shut, gripping the metal pole until my knuckles go white. The driver hums a tune, soft like a lullaby. Outside, reality flickers. Rows of buildings appear and vanish. People move like shadows. At the next turn, I see them in the distance. Old industrial blocks, remnants of the high-rises turned into lofts. Almost home. The man with the cello looks off towards something invisible, as if hearing a sound only for him. And me. I hold on to Danny's voice, his warmth, the memory that might still lead me through. The elderly lady in the berry hat meets my eyes, and winks once. Chapter 11, Bardo. Poor child, she says. I'm sorry. She looks out the window, watching the world collapse. I'm sorry, she repeats softly, her bony hand still resting on my knee. This shouldn't happen. It's unnatural. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know. I just want to go home. You're already home, she says gently, as if reading my thoughts. But it's not the home you wished for. I look at her, and she looks back. Her eyes are huge, infinitely deep, like you could sink into them and forget what time is. Oh, my dear girl. Her voice nearly breaks. You've been in your grave for 3 months. My head jerks up. What? I stare at her, eyes wide. She doesn't look away. Her gaze is warm, unflinching. She gives the slightest nod. I saw them all. My parents, my sister, Danny's family. They mourned Danny with me. They cried with me for Danny. Jules, your time ended long ago. But I'm still alive. Somehow I'm still alive in this world. My voice drops, but grows more urgent. You're not. There's sadness in her voice. Then what is this? A dream? An in-between place? Purgatory? My voice sounds fragile, almost childlike. I'm tired, so tired. The old woman smiles sadly. None of those. And yet somehow all of them. No. I force the word out. My chest tightens. I can't breathe. No, that's not true. I was in my apartment. I talked to Holly. I was... You created that, she says softly. A world where you could still exist. A world where you didn't have to go. My stomach twists. That's not true. But deep down I know it is. I close my eyes. Try to breathe. You fought so hard against the thought of being dead, Jules. I squeeze my eyes shut tighter, trying to block her words. That you built this anomaly. Images flood in, red and blue, the display of a car radio. We were driving home from a party, singing loud, laughing, making fun of the song's lyrics, and lived in an illusion, Jules, a life without Danny. Rain turning the road into a mirror of light and danger, a sudden glare, headlights. You imagine everyone abandoning you in your grief. The impact, my body thrown through the air, the pain. But they didn't. They cry for you every day, Jules. I feel the old woman's hand squeeze mine. It's so warm. I didn't know the dead could still feel warmth. Let go, Jules, she says again. The bus is slowing as I try to process her words. They've burned into my mind. This is my world. I made it. I lured gentle and brutal here. And now it's falling apart. But why? Gentle tried to protect you, she goes on. But even she can't hold off her brother forever. He's here. He likes your world, Jules. Do my actions here have consequences? I ask carefully. Yes, all of them. She nods. That's why it must stop. But then what? I ask. What comes after? The old woman tilts her head, her gaze softening, almost maternal. No one can tell you that, child. You have to find out yourself. The bus door opens. The driver, who until now had been smiling reassuringly, stares at me, wide-eyed. His face is pale, as if he's seen a ghost. He hesitates, then stands, his hands trembling. I'm calling it a day, he says hoarsely, his voice shaking like it's coming from a distant, brittle dream. Thanks for the ride, I say automatically. But he doesn't answer. He looks at me, but through me. Are you really dead? He asks slowly. Yes, and if you stay near me, you'll probably die too, I snap, harsher than I meant to. He slowly backs away. Go home, I tell him again. To your wife. Hold her. Tell her you love her. Enjoy every second you have together. His gaze flickers, then he nods. And runs. He runs without looking back, without another word, down the empty street. I think he will go home, the old woman says softly. Yes, I reply. The bus is empty now. Just me, the old woman, and the man with the cello. Outside, nothing but silence. It's time, Jules, she says. I nod slowly. I think I just got hit by a car. The man with the cello stammers. You did, Simon, the old woman says gently. But you don't belong here. This is Jules's world. Come with me. She steps off the bus and takes the man with the cello by the arm. She nods to me one last time. Let go. Chapter 12 hymn. I run down the street. I'm supposed to let go, but I don't know how. My neighborhood feels like a shadow world. People barely have outlines anymore. The entrance to my old factory complex, past the dumpsters, overflowing far more than usual. It's dirtier here than I remember. Sounds reach me. Voices. Rhythmic. No words. Just guttural grunts. Moans. I'm already in sight of the door when, off to my right, half hidden behind a jut of wall, two figures slide into view. A woman, skirt hiked up, her face to the wall, hands braced against it, pressing her hips back into the man behind her. He's thrusting into her with the grunting force of a boar, shoving her into the wall with each movement. Her high-pitched cries weave into his in a strange, almost musical loop, a rising and falling wave of lust that fades before the peak, only to start again. Then the woman turns her face toward me. Sweat, tangled strands of hair. She opens her eyes, meets mine, and winks, teasing, as if sharing a private joke. I instantly recoil. She grins and shows me her teeth. Black teeth. That wrong smile. I hold my breath. My body is wound tight as a spring, ready to bolt, yet my legs feel heavy as lead. Brutal. He's here, right in front of me. The man still inside her is sweating hard. The flush in his face looks unhealthy. Brutal lifts one hand to his mouth in an exaggerated, mocking yawn. A sharp cry. The man clutches his chest, slips out of Brutal, staggers backward. His eyes find mine, wide and afraid, before he collapses. Brutal turns, pulls the skirt back down, and, almost in the same liquid motion, his fine clothes are back in place. Well, he drawls through those black teeth, savoring the words. At least one of us got a climax out of it. He kneels beside the man. His gaze burns into me, as though he's reaching into my thoughts, into my soul. That black grin doesn't waver. A silent triumph. An invitation to a game I don't want to play. The man on the ground gasps for air, fingers clutching his shirt like he can keep his heart from bursting. He doesn't know what's happened. He doesn't know Brutal touched him, poisoned him. Brutal runs a hand through his hair, almost tender, like an older brother offering comfort. His voice is soft, syrupy, almost pitying. You really should be more careful with what you wish for, he purrs, drawing a finger slowly across the man's forehead. The trembling in the man's body intensifies. His lips move, but no sound comes. Leave him alone, I snap, louder than I expected. Brutal turns his head slowly, as though he'd completely forgotten I was here. And then, his smile. Jules, Jules, Jules. He shakes his head, like I'm a stubborn little sister. You say that like I picked him, but I'm only a servant, you know? My hands are shaking. I don't know what you're still looking for, he goes on. You've seen it all. You know. So why fight? I'm not finished yet. Oh. He tilts his head, his grin stretching wider. But Jules, you can't save everyone. You can't save everything. I can try. His laugh is a dark, throaty echo that ripples through the empty air. Of course you can. He rises slowly, movements fluid, almost like a dancer. And I'll wait. I'll watch what you do. I don't have time for him. So I turn and run. I run, because Brutal is not my target. My target is the girl. A life for a life. Danny for Chuck's son. Me for the girl. She's 9 years old. She lives with a monster. And I have no idea whether the world is so set against me that even my last attempts at doing something good will collapse into nothing. Chapter 13. Farewell. I run up the stairs. With every step, more color floods back into the world. The empty outlines of the city fill with life again. Street lights reclaim their warm glow. Buildings cast shadows once more. I race upward, past the long, cold hallways of the apartment complex. My door waits at the very end of the corridor. On the right, the elevator. On the left, Jake Parker's place. Mine all the way at the back. I reach it, wedge the key between my trembling fingers, and twist it in the lock. Behind me, I hear a door open. Jake sticks his head out, lifts a hand in greeting, and I catch the flicker of disappointment in his face, just before I shut the door in it. Inside, it's like I've fallen into another time. The apartment looks like it's still under construction. Not a single piece of furniture. Plastic sheets everywhere. White walls. Paint cans. As if we'd never lived here. As if it had never been our home. I gasp for air. My heart is racing. I call my dad. He'll think he's lost his mind. That his brain is playing some cruel trick. But I have to talk to him. I have to say goodbye. In my phone's contact list. Mom, Dad, Emerald. My fingers shake as I tap Dad. It rings. Once, twice. Then he answers. Richard Myers. Dad? My voice cracks. Can you hear me? Please, can you hear me? Silence. Jules? Yes, it's me, Dad. A tremor in his voice. That can't be. I buried you, my child. I know, I whisper. I know. But I couldn't leave. I've been here the whole time. But now I can't stay anymore. Silence, his heavy breathing. Then he breaks. I hear the sobs tear through him, words caught in his throat. Some sound in the background. Movement. And then, Mom's voice, alarmed, panicked. Richard, what is it? It's Jules. He manages between the tears. I love you, I say. I love you both. I just wanted you to know it's okay. You don't have to be sad anymore. It's okay. I hear them crying. My mother screams, grief ripped open fresh. Silence. Jules. Mom's voice is barely more than a whisper once she's regained control. How is this possible? I don't know. I couldn't go. But now I have to. I really have to. Dad tries to steady himself. We cried so much for you, Jules. I'll never forget you, I say through my own tears. I'll be there, someday, when you come. I'll go ahead, to Danny. A muffled, stifled sob. Dad, there's something I have to tell you. Holly's pregnant. Tell her I love her, okay? And tell her to leave that guy Matt. And tell her she didn't imagine it. That I was there. We had coffee. I had that massive caramel macchiato. And the chocolate brownie with even more chocolate. Tell her it was real. She's going to be an amazing single mom. And I gave all the money I had to Chuck. He wasn't to blame for any of this. Yes, I'll tell her. Yes. And there's a girl, Brittany, my neighbor's daughter. Her stepfather is hurting her. I'm going to end it now. Take care of her, like she's your own. We'll take care of her, Jules, Mom says, her voice steady but shaking underneath. Thank you. I take a deep breath. Now I can go. Jules, Dad blurts. Emerald, you two fought. She can't sleep. She's so sorry. Tell her I love her, Dad. Silence. We love you, my child. I swallow hard. I love you too. So much. And then slowly, I hang up. Chapter 14. She. That familiar high-pitched whine. The TV. Danny. There we are. him and me. We're covered in splashes of paint, laughing as we run through the rooms. His hands reach for me. I squeal when he catches me, pressing his wet white palms against my cheeks. I pretend to be annoyed, turn, grab a handful of paint myself, and smack it right across his face. He laughs, pins me against the wall. His lips taste like paint and laughter. In the kitchen, he stands with bright stains in his hair, holding a painting from the studio. It shows a park bench surrounded by green. On it, a dark figure sits, head bowed. Why does the man in the painting look so sad? I ask. He shrugs. I had a strange dream. I was sitting alone in the garden, waiting. Waiting for what? The picture shifts. He's in his old armchair, Atari controller in hand. The TV image flickers, distorts, hisses with static. I can see his lips moving, but I can't hear him anymore. We can't understand each other. On the screen, something flares. A reflection. Gentle. She's looking out at me from inside the television. Help me. Show me the way out of here. The TV goes dark. And then I hear it. Boom, boom. Thud, thud. Another heavy blow against the wall. A scream. I turn. Do you hear that, Danny? A child's scream. Another dull hit. Boom. Then a man's voice. Angry. Shouting. Another blow. I know what it is. I know what he's doing. Gentle. I whisper. Get your brother. He can take the guy. Gentle steps out of the shadow. She shakes her head. My brother is already over there. She touches my cheek with the back of her hand, strokes it softly. He's not here for Fred Rodriguez. He's here for the girl. I can't interfere. I look at the wall. I hear the blows. My fists clench. But I can. I run to the door. I yank it open. Jake Parker is in the hallway, eyes wide. I called the police, he says. They said they've got no one to send. Somewhere, someone shouts. We have to help the child. Then help, I shout back. And then Gentle is there, standing in front of the door. She places her hand on the lock. I see her reach right through it. A soft click. The door springs open a crack. Inside, he's still shouting. The little girl screams. It's getting louder. I take a deep breath. I'm going to kill him. Jake is right behind me. I feel his hand searching for mine, and when he finds it, I feel him press something into it. Cold, heavy. Ribbed grip. I feel the trigger. Hear his voice. Do you know how to use this, Mrs. Newsom? I lift the weapon, grip it tighter, pull the magazine free, check its full slide it back in with a click, flick the safety, and rack the slide to chamber around. Yes, I whisper, trying not to let the trembling show. Chapter 15, Fred. Fred. A big man. Broad shoulders. Gray undershirt, soaked through with sweat. His hands clamp down on the girl's shoulders. Her feet dangle above the floor. She's so small. His hands are so big. He slams her against the wall, lifts her, drops herringly to yank her back up again. I hear her faint, desperate whimper. I feel the heat of my rage rising fast. Hey! I shout. I aim at the back of his head. He freezes, slowly turns around. I've got the gun up, sights locked. feet planted wide, one step apart just like Dad taught me. Arm steady, finger on the trigger. Brutal is crouched on the floor, watching with amusement, his hand already dangerously close to Brittany. Our eyes meet. Fred lets the child drop. She crumples to the ground, curled in on herself. Her head is bleeding, badly. Fred is confused. He doesn't understand why I'm here. He takes a step toward me. Brutal laughs. I lower the gun. And fire. The first shot hits him in the chest. The second, too. And the third. Brutal cheers me on like a damn cheerleader, laughing loud. Fred gasps, staggers back, slides down the wall. His fingers claw at his shirt, blood seeping through the fabric. I hold my breath. I warned you, he rasps. Then his head drops forward. I swing the gun toward Brutal. He's right next to the girl, one hand resting on her shoulder, as if to praise her for something. Leave her alone, you bastard. My world, my rules. I shoot. The bullet goes right through him. Hits the wall. He grins. I fire again. And again. And again. Click, click, click. The mag's empty. He's still grinning. There's even a flicker of respect in his eyes. Out! I spit. Get the hell out of my world. He laughs softly, bends down, strokes the dead man's hair. Looks like you got lucky, kid, he says quietly to the girl. The blood in my veins feels like it's boiling. Don't touch her. He lifts his head. His grin widens. But the sweet sorrow tastes so much better from children. Leave, I snarl. He looks at me. Longer this time. Then exhales through his nose. What are you going to do? The girl lies on the floor, tiny, trembling. Her lips are bluish, her eyes half closed. She's dying. I kneel beside her, place my hand on her chest. One soul for one soul, I whisper. Danny for Chuck's boy, me for Brittany. She takes one deep breath, eyes snapping open, then lets it out in one long exhale. When I lift her into my arms, she's limp. I close my eyes, lean over her, and breathe my life into her, whatever's left of me. Chapter 16, Danny. Gentle is beside me. I can feel her sorrow. She bends down, places her hand on my shoulder. Outside. Voices. Footsteps. Police. Paramedics. They rush into the room, shouting rapid commands I can no longer understand. Gentle's fingers brush my cheek, gently pulling me back so I'm not in their way. I see Brittany lying on the floor. She takes my face in both hands, presses a kiss to my forehead. The little one will live, she says. Then she lets go. Leave it all behind, Jules, she whispers. I finish her sentence. Go. Epilogue. The scent of flowers. A light almost unreal where unimaginable colors from unimaginable blossoms compete with each other for perfection. A path ahead of me. Whatever lies behind, I no longer see. I no longer look back. A song, whistled, terribly off-key. A sad song. Leaves brush against me, as if welcoming me. The path winds through a breathtaking garden, leading me toward the sound of the whistling. A bench. In the middle of this paradise. A man sits there, head bowed. He's whistling. Danny. He looks up, smiles at me. Tears fill his eyes. He laughs that beautiful laugh. Did you finally let go, Jules?
Morning broke within the darkened room. She felt so tired, she felt like nothing. Her scream was swallowed by the gloom, choked by madness, tears still running. They say that time can heal all wounds, but time just runs, it never waits. It bound her heart in silent tombs, yet still his side remains so faint. Her thoughts now spiral without end. Inside the house it stays so still. She once had screamed, now tears descend. What kind of God would want this will? Let go, let go. This world was never meant for you. Let go, let go. Stars in your tears still shine right through. Let go, let go. His broken heart had beat for you. Let go, let go. He waits beyond the silent blue. His scent has faded, shade is gone. Since morning came and he was not. Now time removes him one by one. So close he'd been and now forgot. She gave herself away, saw no more light. He was her son, she grateful just to stand within his shade. The darkened room, no light remains. They told her life goes on, you know. Let go, he waits beyond the silent blue. Their duty done, they turned away. No more visits, not one word. No one left to mourn or pray. Sie sagten, es muss weitergehen. Für dich lass los, wartet hinter. Let go. This world was never meant for you. Let go. Stars in your tears still shine right through. Let go. His broken heart had beat for you. Let go. He waits beyond the silence.